Taza, do you want to come up and explain the voice note thing? This is, yeah, you can come and do it.
Especially when they do, so I jump in and I
Okay, so do you want to come out front? Yeah. So Taza's actually made the training for this, and it's really, really sick. And this is huge for everyone to make sure you're doing, because if you can improve the conversions at the first part of the conversation, like the first reply, it's going to increase dramatically. Do you want to give Taza a right hand? So let's give it, there you go. Yes, if you, like with everything with your business, and we spoke earlier about like traffic sales, kind of client results, the higher you go up and you fix the problem, you improve something, the bigger the impact it's going to have in terms of your revenue at the back end. So do you want to explain the voice notes?
So if anyone's already seen it, there's actually put a training the other day on the WhatsApp group as well in terms of school. And what you can do now, so you know when you forward voice notes, normally previously you used to say it's forwarded, but now what you can do is actually record it to yourself. So I can show you over here in terms of what that looks like. But let's say you've got setters in your account, but you want to send voice notes to yourself. So what you'll do is create like a bullet bank, and I'll send you like the training here, but that comes across, you can pretty much send it to yourself, so you can see that if you want to. But all it is these voice notes here are like follow-ups day 1, day 2, day 3. And what that looks like is basically you voice note yourself, you put the title in terms of what the voice note title is, so it's follow-up, new lead magnet, things like that. And you can forward it to yourself, you can forward it to people that you want to speak to. So essentially what that means is basically like, let's say there's a new follow, you do day 1 message, day 2 message, day 3. Day 3 can be a voice note, like, hey, super sorry, completely realised I forgot to give my freebie. I was giving a new followers a freebie for following me. I've got these 2 guys, which one would you like? It could be like, let's say you offer a call and someone's not taking it, it's all typed messages. What you can then do is, hey, completely realised we didn't get the time to speak. I've actually got some time today and tomorrow, which one works best for you? It's like a this or that sort of thing. But the way you do it for everyone here is basically you send it to yourself and you pretty much have like a bullet bank of voice notes. So it could be follow-ups, new follow messages, lead magnet offers, call offered, call follow-ups. And then the setters will go into your messages, forward that to the prospect, and it doesn't say forwarded whatsoever. So you can create as many as you want to, which is perfect. So, yeah, so you can do it on your, I think you can do it on your laptop, but it comes across as if you've actually recorded it live in the moment. So,
how do they send it from Meta Business, for example?
So
they would have to do it in the account.
I wouldn't be too sure, yeah. It'd be more than the account, to be fair.
You'd have to have them logged into the Instagram account. But like this is, so one of the bigger problems with like DM messaging is people think it's AI or like whatever kind of thing. Whereas like, dude, like if the first message someone gets and they think it's you, obviously it's originally you, but like they think it's you, the whole process will be so much better because of that. So like that's a huge point of leverage to get that nailed down for everyone from the beginning. Darren.
Would you leave it a few weeks from when a new follower follows you?
No, straight away. Straight away.
Is there any like guide with the algorithm and stuff? Does Instagram?
If they follow you, it's fine. It's like if you just start spamming like every Tom, Dick, and Harry off the internet, if they follow you, you can engage them basically because they showed intent to you.
I think if anything, like a day 1 message, day 2 message, day 3, and then if they engage, we activate the conversation. So like after day 3, if they're not responding to 3 personally, we leave it because of the volume of new followers. And then we'll happen, let them see your content, let them see your story. If they engage in other parts of content, we re-engage again. But like after 3 messages, it could be a case of like, let's say they see your stories, you can do a quick voice memo, which is a forwarded, and that can carry the conversation again. But it's like a nice little human touch as well. So we've got one now where it's like, hey, super sorry, I realised we've not spoken for a while. My apologies, I'm actually going for lunch in a second, probably going to grab steak and eggs. How are you doing today? How's your journey going so far? It's very casual. And I've actually got some wind in the background too, so it looks a bit more human-like as opposed to some wind in the background.
Well, I'd like to do something else. I was like walking up the stairs, so it sounds like
out of breath.
Do you know what I mean? Rather than like you're in like a mic'd up room, like, do you know what I mean? It's
100%.
too perfect. We want it to be a little bit shitty to some degree.
I even say in the voice, I'm so sorry for the background noise, and they actually kind of like that human element too. So hey, I can hear you perfect. So if you can make it more human-like, it works really well too. But I'd say every like follow-up you can do, you've got the text, but if you've already done 2 text messages as like a follow-up, do a voice note third, it works really, really well. So that's pretty decent.
Did you have a question on that as well, Holly?
Yeah, I was going to, because I haven't watched your training yet, but we've been doing this for a few months as the 3rd follow-up. So we'll do like a welcome message and then a follow-up, and then I'll do it. I'm sorry, I'm just running to the lift, but you probably think I'm a bot. And so many people have come back and been like, thank you so much, I really did think you were AI, blah, blah, blah. And it's been like crazy, the difference. But would you say then, sorry if this is in your training, to just go out as like a welcome message with that?
100%. Because if you can improve the conversion on the first message, that's huge.
Okay.
That's huge. So like, I would always make sure the first message is the voice note because it looks personal.
Yeah. Because I think Fran did a photo in the lift as well, like to follow up. And because obviously you can't tell the time of day and stuff, she was like, it's me. And she was in the lift as well as the
That's
voice note. I
class.
think that did really well as well.
That's
But,
smart.
Yeah.
And then you can do like a text, a voice memo text. But if you're doing voice, it keep it under 15 seconds. I'd say just so it doesn't like become too much for someone to consume. So the shorter the better. I'd say more punchy.
How long on average should it take per message?
As in for the voice note, or what do you mean? Sorry.
So what I found was when I did that, it's hard to find the person you want to. You need to send.
Just have a pen and paper and write their names down. So if I was a DM setter, I would have laptop open with like new followers and then the phone and then just do both. And just okay, name did it, like name did it. Do you know what I mean?
I think if anything, like test as like a follow-up test as a new follow message. Like kind of like with scale where you wouldn't see spikes. You'll see spikes, highs and lows. But if you see the average days to reply rates higher, you can definitely go with it, to be fair. So give it like a 7-day period, see the response. You should do really well. In terms of how to set it up, so what you do is you send it to yourself, you put a title of what the follow-up is. So if it's a new follower, lead magnet, you send the voice note below so your VA knows. And your VA goes onto the actual, like it'll actually like my ir.taza. So go search ir.taza, see the chat history, click forwards into the person. The thing is, I think you can actually do it now where if you forward it, it'll show you recent conversations. So that's also a nice way to do it. But like Charlie said, if you've got the names of the people, you can just type it up manually.
And then if you also pin the conversation, it stays at the top of your feed, so it's easy for the setters to get.
pretty much it.
But that will help massively from the conversion side of things. Coming back to Dino, that will help a lot in terms of like improving the initial response rate, and then
The first message, you would just switch it to a voice note.
yeah, switch to voice notes. So like, thank you so much for following me. What content are you looking for? Like, is it specifically fat loss, muscle building, or general inspiration? You like my kind of stuff? Like, kind of have a bit of a laugh with it, and then the goal is just to try and get them to respond off of that, and then get them into a conversation. But if you can always kind of like lead with like a giving hand, like you're trying to like send them a training or send them another piece of content, or like what is it you're kind of here for, does very well. So I would definitely do that. And also like in the Spanish market, no one will be doing that. So I think you'll kind of clean up with that. The second thing in terms of your account at the moment, are you running any ads on it?
Yeah, I always try to have like one running.
Okay. Do you know what the cost per follower is on it?
Yeah, normally it's like 0.4 euros.
Okay. And then do you know roughly how much money you make on the followers coming through, for example? So do you track that roughly?
No.
Okay. So the most important thing that I obsess over every day, and I cannot like implore to everyone enough, is that when you get someone sign up, look where they came from. Where's the money come from? So you can kind of think, why is this important? Is pattern recognition is a key skill in business.
Like for example, the thing is I have 2 gyms.
Yeah.
And then I have a lot of clients like come in referral from there.
Yeah.
Because I'm online.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say.
But even then, even on the sales process, you can even ask them like, how did you hear about me? Was it from the gym, or did you just find me online?
Yeah.
Because because what you want to track is roughly the revenue that's coming from new followers specifically. And this is like boosted follower funnels. I was saying this to someone yesterday. It's like Old Faithful. It just makes money and it works. It's kind of difficult to track to like military precision, but you can roughly check, okay, I made 10,000 euros from selling to new followers and we spent 1,000 euros. Chances are this is definitely very profitable. So like, let's spend 2,000 this month and see if it goes to like 15, 17, if that makes sense. So I would track that like kind of like weekly, how much are you making from new followers coming into the account? Are you taking all the sales calls?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have that in a kind of conversation, but how did you hear about me? Was it from the gym? Was it from content?
Right.
Like, that for me is like one of the most valuable things. I listen to a lot of sales calls is like, I hear things of like, oh, I listened to this podcast or I saw this YouTube video. I'm like,
Track your agenda.
yeah. And then also for you as the entrepreneur, you're like, all this time I spend making this stuff, people actually like listen to it and they like it, which is kind of gives you positive reinforcement. So then if you don't want to make the content, you actually keep doing it, if that makes sense. So I would do that and then increase probably take the spend up a bit. And then I would say for you, like an analogy I like, and I'd want everyone to kind of think about, is that your job is to basically be like the quarterback in your business, like driving traffic. And you have to be able to give your team enough swings at bat to be able to like book calls. So I'd say I would generally recommend for everyone, like kind of the metric I would look for is at least 100 new followers a day. So they have enough people that they can try and kind of pull through, if that makes sense. So I would, if you spent like 50 euros a day, you'd probably do that on kind of boosted posts.
I'm way under.
Yeah, how much are you spending now?
10.
Yeah, bro, like, So what's your revenue, if you don't mind asking?
Like this month, at the moment, I think I'm gonna make like 8K.
Yeah. Yeah, so like go to 40 euros a day and see what happens. Like, or just take it up and like just not in one sweep, but maybe go 10 to 20, do that for a couple of days, then go 20 to 30, and then see if there's a dramatic increase in terms of like lead flows and call bookings.
For example, I've like a couple of ads that have done well in the past, but they
Yeah.
paused. So maybe it's a good idea.
Just turn back.
Put them back. Okay.
And this is an important thing I say for everyone, whether it's actually an ad that is for like a boosted reel for followers, or if it's just a general ad. If the ad is to like a lead magnet and it's like click the link type of thing, or to a VSL, if the ad and the creative is really good, a lot of people will just follow you off of the ad, which then means the setters can then kind of engage with them. Or what happens is people actually might like the advert or comment on it, and then the setters can then go and message them as well, if that makes sense. So, which is then difficult to track, but you can often see a correlation that if you just take the spend up a little bit, you will always see an increase in conversions, particularly when you've got the new setter coming in. One piece of advice I'd give on setting teams, I think Adrian had mentioned there. I spoke with someone yesterday, and they got really successful business doing like $70,000 a month. But the thing that's held them back is they're really nice people, but they're too nice to their setters who are underperforming. One of them's got like a massive personal problem. The two others are just kind of like lazy and unorganized. It's like they're trying to fix something that they cannot fix as a people problem. Like the processes are great, so if the people don't perform, it's then a people problem, and you just need to get new people. So I'd say, I don't know what your thought is on this, Atasa, but generally I'd say like, you know if someone is going to be good within the first few days. And I can give a great example of this. I'll shout out to Mateja, one of our team who watches this. We threw one of our guys under the bus yesterday to take a sales call just to see what happens, like an hour's notice. He's Serbian, and the like lady was from Serbia. So you take it. Guy like was super chill, wasn't even bothered. He was like not flustered. Turns up in a shirt like super professional. I was like, for me, that's like attention to detail. And like you as the business owner seeing those small things is massive, because like this guy's coachable, this person wants to learn, and they really care and they want to do well. That's what you want to be looking for like every part of your business. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Sorry?
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anything else on that?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Think of anything, just shout.
Can I ask a
Yeah, of course.
question on the
Shoot.
followers? So
Yeah.
we put more ad spend into the likes of Boost posts.
Yeah.
The one that did really well was like a squat video.
Yeah.
I don't really do any like training videos, so we didn't convert. We got like 700 new followers, and we didn't get any conversations. We didn't convert anyone, so I just turned it off, and now we're stagnant.
Okay.
What do you do in that situation?
So the way paid advertising works is the most important thing is always going to be like the creative that comes at the start. So if the way Facebook works now in terms of ads is it will basically run what you say through AI. It analyzes the video in terms of like the visual where you are, or to try and match it to someone who's going to kind of engage with it. So that for me would be, okay, that creative is just pulling through completely the wrong type of person. Yeah. The second option of what you could do if you're like, I think the video is good, and is then layer in interest targeting. So do you know what the target was on the reel?
What do you mean?
Was it just like UK women 30 to 40?
Yeah, I think we did actually, it was quite a while ago, but I think we actually did go to cities in the UK.
Okay.
And the age was probably too broad. I
Okay.
think it was like 30 to 50.
Okay. Was there anything else on that, other than that, do you think?
No, we took out interest a while ago, but maybe only.
Okay, so the general process of how you would want to run paid ads is, whether you're running boosted reels or you're running to like an opt-in page or a website, is you would always start, if you think the creative is good, you start broad. So, the age being broad isn't an issue as long as you work with that type of client. So it could be like 30 to 50-year-old women, UK and Ireland, for example. And then if that's bringing leads through, but it's not the right type of person, then that's when you need to like layer in interest targeting on that. So for fitness, the best interest targets are going to be things that are premium brands associated with fitness that only more affluent people are probably going to associate with. So things like Peloton, Lululemon, Whole Foods. I came up with this one the other day. I thought it was really smart. It's like Waitrose. Like, if you want to target, this is a really good content idea for anyone for an ad. What I would do, I would go to Waitrose here, and I would try and film stuff quickly that could be a sick reel or an ad, and then talk about Waitrose in the video, and then have that as interest targeting. Because Waitrose is like the rich woman's shop in the UK, right? So like, that's where a lot of them are going to shop. And the other things I'd look at would be luxury vacations, anything that's kind of in that type of lineup is what you want to look at.
I just didn't know whether that was niching down too much, then but that makes so much more sense.
It could be the creative is too. Were they too young people?
Young students.
Yeah. So like, the other thing you want to have a look for, because you had an age demographic of 30 to 50 on there, that Facebook will have what's called Advantage Plus on there, and it will also have another tick box that says, we will push this to people outside of your audience to get more results or whatever, or to people who we think would like this. If that's ticked, they'll like completely disregard anything you selected and just send it to whoever they think will engage. So chances are maybe with that reel, that might be in one of those is ticked if it's getting,
Those are-
yeah.
So we got some good leads, but we got a lot of shit ones too. And I realised that the Advantage Plus was turned on. So do you recommend turn that off and just put your own target in?
I would start it broad and then go like kind of narrow, but don't, no. I test it on, if you're going to run things like a VSL or an opt-in funnel, like I run some stuff that's Advantage Plus, but you have so much, I have so much tracking that I can see like cost per lead, call, like all that stuff automatically. It doesn't really matter. But on the follower stuff, I wouldn't, because you can't track it to that level of detail, if that makes sense.
So do you think just if your creative is sort of targeted at your target audience, it's best just to let Meta do everything? Or do you think actually putting like interest in a good... what I did before, I did different interests in different ad sets, okay? And then I saw which one was working the best and just put money into that. And I got it from that, I got 163 per lead. 163 per lead.
Generally, I would always start like broad and then go like targeted. And then if that doesn't work, I would creative to that, then that.
Broad, and then I retargeted people who had been on the website.
Yeah.
What's 75% of the video?
Yeah.
And whatever sort of interest performed
Yeah.
best from the cold traffic, that was in then the retargeting ad.
What's the ad sending them to?
It was sending them to a landing page, which then also had a thank you page.
What was the landing page getting them to do? Try and book a call?
This was just a bit of free content.
I personally wouldn't bother running ads to a free page for something like that, because the whole goal of every sale is like every sale starts with a conversation. So if you're sending them to that to a free thing, if there's no way you can engage them in that conversation, you're kind of hoping they're going to try and book a call.
Yeah, this is what I learned next. I tried to then do like an email sequence, but my reply wasn't high on emails.
Email is.
So that's one thing I learned, which is not effective.
I have a disagreement with, say, someone like James Smith, who talks a lot about email marketing, because I don't know, has anyone in here bought anything from an email recently? I couldn't tell you when I bought anything, because it's good for and I'm not saying people shouldn't do emails, but you know the things we talked about earlier, like traffic, sales, like if you're making less than 20K a month, I wouldn't be worrying too much about that.
Fitness, I think I learned this from this technique from sort of real estate, which emails I think would be a little bit more suitable.
It was a completely different market demographic, and also their ticket item of what they get is completely different. So there's crossover in some strategies from other industries, but I wouldn't say that.
No, that's one thing I've learned. So basically that Meta.
Yeah, so with your ads, always just start broad and then go to targeted, and then if this then doesn't work, either maybe try different targeting, make sure all the Advantage Plus, switch audience, placements, all that type of stuff is correct. If that doesn't work, then I would look at probably the creative. And in the order of the creative, the most important thing is the hook of what you. If you enjoyed this clip and you're a business owner, content creator, or coach, and you want help in terms of exactly how to scale your business to the next level using ads, AI, VSLs, setters, and building teams to basically monetize your business and monetize your knowledge, but without you having to press all the buttons, it's never been easier than before. What we can do is we can walk through the whole process in terms of how we're doing this over and over and over again with content creators, with business owners. If you hit the link at the bottom of this video, you can book a call with us and the team. We can audit your whole business, show you where the bottlenecks are, and show you exactly how we can scale. And if we think you're a good fit to work with us, we can show you what that looks like too.